Howdy folks, welcome back to Bull Ford 82. I just started working on the suspension work that we're doing to my friend's 07 Ram. We've got rear shocks, front shocks, and we're putting in the struts, airbag, and putting a compressor kit in at the same time. Show you what we got going on here. That's what it looked like on the passenger side. New shock in there. Yep, got the old Bilsteins there. A little spenny, I think they were 90 bucks a shock, but they match the truck, and it'll, he pulls a trailer with this, so we need this thing to handle good. So these take quite a bit of force to compress. Here's the original one with, I think this is 193,000 miles on it, and I'm just barely even pushing on it. It extends and everything. It might have been leaking a tiny bit, but yeah, it's toast. And then with the airbags, when he puts his trailer on, this thing won't sag. This thing actually sags with the junk he's got in the back here, and I can tell that his leaf springs are plumb wore out, and the bushings in here, all of them are pretty well toast. So that's something we'll have to address at another time, but for now it is good. I know they're definitely bad on this side because I think it's that one there squeaks really bad. Sounds like he's got polyurethane in it, but it's not the case. I've got that side kind of jacked up a little bit because I don't want to let the axle droop down all the way just yet because that airbag is in there. Old and busted. Oh, you know, you. That's enough messing around with the shocks now. So that was easy. Look at that. Oh yeah, this is gonna be a different truck. Okay, so from our air install, we need to remove these bump stops. I was gonna do this in separate videos, but decided not to. So on this truck, I had to use a couple of washers to space the plate out from this part of the frame. That's one thing I have had to do, and I don't really care for that too much, but that's what we got to do. Okay. So what we do, now they have this set up where if you break a bolt off in there, they give you screws that you can put in here in these extra holes. And you just drill a hole for it and then run it in, and you're off to the races. Get that one started. I think I'll take this truck for a test drive here after we get the airbag thing done. I think tomorrow I'll do the struts, front struts. Overall, this is a pretty good kit from Air Lift. Snug it. Yeah, he's had this thing bottomed out a few times, that's for sure. I think what I'll do this time is I'm going to put the lower bracketry in first. Might make it a little bit easier, and of course this right in your way. So the way this works is we get one bracket here. This longer end needs to go up into this little part of the bracket, and then the smaller part clamps onto where your bump stop used to smash into when you're loaded up and hauling your 40-foot travel trailer through the field. We'll tighten this down when we're ready. So I think you get a little bit of room. I've got that one a little on the other side, a little bit forward, which is fine. This is where you gotta kind of learn to be a contortionist just a little bit with the arms and hands. So what I do is I lock this top piece in, and then it kind of lets this sit here naturally, and then I'll clamp the bottom part, and then that way it's pretty much self-aligned. And then this one here, goes in like that. Now I'm going to run my airline, and we'll go get a T-fitting, and I'll figure out where we want to terminate the T-fitting. I'm going to do a lot of that off camera, and I'll just show you what I've done. Otherwise, we're done installing the airbags and done with the shocks. Alright, I'm getting ready to put the tires back on. Got my lines here ran. Got our $20 air fitting setup. I'm probably gonna zip tie it to this. Actually, I'd like to mount it to the frame. This e-brake cable is gonna move around, so I might just do a little zip tie up there along the brake lines. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. Cool. Next part is installing the compressor. I think what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna put the wheels on and I'm gonna take it for a little test drive and see how it rides. Do a little comparison for the rear, and then I'm gonna bring it back in. I'm gonna have lunch and then probably start doing the front struts. All right, guys, I found a spot for the air compressor. I wanna hide it and I wanna mount it solidly. So I'm gonna mount it to that rail right there. So I've gotta climb in here and tap some holes, and I'm gonna mount it right here against the rail, and it'll be hidden. You won't even see it. But you know, my foot. Doing a little inspection here on my friend's rig. We got cable rubbing up against the brake line. Might make a separator for that. Ball joints and stuff are good, except for this tie rod end is pretty well pooched. We got brand new ones we're gonna put on. The inner tie rods seem good, but I noticed something. This thing has a little bit of a clunk noise going down the road when you hit a bump, specifically on this side. When I took the wheel off, I found this. So it's got new brake pads. Look at this. This will just come right off of here. Okay, so we're gonna make a liar of me. I noticed this part was completely smooth, so it's been digging into the caliper. That's cute. So I found his noise. Sway bar bushings and end links, I think, would be a good thing for this one. So I'm gonna suggest that. Yeah, and then we got to do a water pump. This thing's got 194,000 miles on it. It just needs some love here and there. At least it's got the Hemi in it. So that I'm gonna have to go to the Napa and get some bolts. Hopefully they got them. Got something in stock, or I'll just take the pin out and go get some bolts. I did a little bit more work today. I did not get to the struts. Unfortunately, the lower bolts or bolt for the strut is seized into the control arm bushing. So I've ordered 2 new ones. So I'll have to replace those bushings and do the struts. So that'll be for another video. I replaced both tie rod ends. This one was pretty much toast. The other one was okay, but replaced them both. Put some Moog joints in there, so fixed his brake caliper. That was not mounted. Damn, it just got loud all of a sudden. I'm just testing the air suspension. I haven't had any leaks. This held 60 pounds for probably 5 or 6 hours. Didn't even drop. Right now I've got about 30 in it. So because his rear springs sag, even with the junk he's got in the back, it's actually not even very heavy stuff. It's just real lightweight stuff. But his springs are pretty well toast. So what I'm doing, and I'm gonna have him do, is keep the air ride at about 15 psi, and that keeps this truck sitting at factory ride height. So won't be squatting in the back. It rides good like this too. I just took it for a little test drive, and it rides really good. It's not harsh. I bet when he goes to put a trailer on it, it probably won't sag a whole lot, and then you throw a couple more PSI in it, it'll probably sit level. So we're gonna try that out later today. If If I remember, I'll bring the camera. If not, you just have to take my word for it. Anyways, that'll be a wrap for this video. Next week, I'm going to tackle the struts. I'm waiting on control arm bushings. Once we get those, we can go ahead and move forward. With that, I'm going to finish editing this video and relax for the rest of the day. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next video.